Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great day. So in this video, we're going to talk about how the SEC is getting rid of the centralized, trashy cryptocurrencies. It seems to, I think uh, that are going against Binance, also going to be going against Coinbase, uh, specifically due to uh, some of these tokens that are listed on their exchanges that the SEC is determined to be, many of you all will know, your Polygons, your Cardanos, your Centralands, and many of these projects that uh, are basically getting them to the point of registered securities. Now, well, to have you know the people be able to trade in these coins if they want. We don't need the SEC coming in and so on and so forth. But the party issue is that who say that they want no SEC are the same people who complain about these projects. So uh, make their minds of where they want to be in this space. Now, to be kind of fair with it and kind of just overall make the statement, there's really only one cryptocurrency that specifically was never determined to be centralized. All right. So the only cryptocurrency project really that is decentralized is Bitcoin, right? Trying to get my bearings here. Just got in, but it's really only Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum gets in the fray simply because Ethereum reaches a certain amount of node connectivity, right? And so it becomes so vast in a sense, it decentralizes the network, right? But here's the thing. What happened with Ethereum? Ethereum barely making a cut. What happened with Ethereum is light years ahead of what's happening with these other cryptocurrency projects, right? These things are basically unregistered securities. They don't satisfy in the least any conditions of decentralization. And so they are, for the most part, unregistered securities. Most of these tokens are. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to hear that. They want to keep, unfortunately, the people who do know better, they want to keep taking advantage of the people who don't. But that's why I'm so glad that the SEC is going to put a stop to these projects that don't make the cut, right? Now, you guys hear me talk a lot about Bitcoin MYK. What some of y'all probably don't understand is that Bitcoin MYK inherits the Bitcoin ledger. But not only that, Bitcoin MYK is a free cryptocurrency. Its distribution rate will meet that of what you see with your Ethereums as such, what you see with Bitcoin as such, right? Because it's a free cryptocurrency, right? And everybody's gonna basically have access to it through citizens dividends. So this is something totally different than trying to sell the public and exploit the public on an unregistered security with ownership of it belonging to who knows who, and these people manipulating the public and controlling the supply upwards to 90% in some cases, right? In any event, these people have created a project where they're going to always be on top, right? And it's no way that it's going to be fair for the other participants. In fact, it's more likely that the other participants are going to be exploited. So when we created Bitcoin MYK, we were very careful. We were very careful to make sure these things didn't happen to Bitcoin, right? So this is how Ethereum managed to get in the fold, right? Now, my personal beliefs is Ethereum should have been fined, and Ethereum should have had to from basically doing an ICO. All right, they did an ICO in the very beginning. They should have been fined like many of the other projects, and made to pay a fine, and then abide by the rules, right? And I say that because it's I feel it's been unfair to the other projects who did have to pay fines and were, because I don't think Ethereum was any different. It was allowed to grow to a more of a point of decentralization, right? But it still doesn't take away that they were unregistered security, right? So, uh, and I don't think many of these projects that have been targeted, whether it be Cardano or Decentraland, I actually think some of them are pretty good projects and pretty good, art blockchains. But the problem with them not satisfying that is it allows other projects to then cross the line, and they're going to exploit a lot of people, right? They're going to exploit people, and it's not going to be good. And so this might be one of those necessary things that get the space back into where it needs to be, right? Um, Now looking at Bitcoin MYK, right? Why is it that Bitcoin MYK seems to get a pass with me in this? Well, let's look at some of these accounts on Bitcoin MYK. Does something look familiar? The people who are participating in the Bitcoin MYK network, the proof participation algorithm, right? As you can see, their balances look very close to the same thing, right? That's how the proof participation algorithm works, right? Now, it's not some type of socialist model where where people are still dealing in capitalism, right? But there is a distribution model, a bare bone model that its idea is to prevent these dualistic economies, right? And that's allowed through our 10% annual inflation rate that is basically is what's allowing the wallets to come closer in parity, right? Um, and so it's a very interesting, very ambitious project that satisfies decentralization. That I think that even if the SEC were for whatever reason, I don't think it will have any reason to target us because there's so many of you guys projects out there that are clearly exploiting people, and it's just millions of them to go through before they get to us, I think. But even if they did, I think that uh, even if we were unaware of some violation of securities laws, I still think we would reach a situation like Ethereum quickly, whereas I don't think other projects can. Now, you guys in the Zen community, I have a soft spot with you guys because even though Zen is not perfect and it doesn't even it has some big issues, I think it is moving in the right direction at least. And not many cryptocurrencies can, in fact, none of them can say that. The only ones is Bitcoin, according to the SEC, Ethereum, and according to me, Bitcoin MYK. And then Zen gets a pass. But everything else, like even you post chain community people, right? To even think that post chain is would satisfy not being an unregistered security with all of the antics the post and hex community is pulled, I think you guys are just being disingenuous. Now, some of the community has raised the idea that, oh, well, Post and Hex is decentralized. They're just going after the content influencers who promote it. Well, you know what? There's a reason that these people were incentivized to promote it to some degree, and that's why it crosses that line as well. And so, in that sense, yeah, I will just say this, right? I'm not the SEC. It's not my job to determine who's a security or not. I can look at the information and pretty much come to a pretty good conclusion. Uh, but I will say this: that I don't believe the SEC sees it like how the hex community is trying to push it. And I would just say be very careful Be very careful out there with how you look at the future of Pulse and Hex. Very cautious, right? Because even if you're right to a degree on it, uh, there's something that's triggered the SEC, and that's going to put great concern on your investments, right? Uh, this marks the time, because here's what the bottom line, guys, is. Many of you who watch the channel, I looked at my analytics, right? People who watch our content, right? And part of the issue is when I look at my analytics, 35 years old and up go crazy, who are the people who watch my content, right? It's like 100% they're watching my content. Now that means the demographics of viewers on YouTube that are probably going to be the most people, probably like from 18 to 25 or 18 to 30 or whatever, they're not watching our videos. And that's a problem because this is where a lot of the value and money is going into these trash projects, right? Uh, People who are like 18 years old, a lot of these kids have ADHD, right? And they need people constantly moving around and jerking around and can't sit still and doing crazy stuff and antics, and that interests them. And I get it, right? I've been 18 as well. But this is the reason that the SEC has to deal with these trash coins. I know a lot of people don't like regulation. I know Elon Musk doesn't like it. And I wish there was a way we could manage this on our own. But the cryptocurrency community is the first group of people to scream and hoop and holler when these people exploit these projects exploit people, right? They are. That's just the facts, right? They are the first people to do it. Instead of just choose good projects, right? Because they want to be gamblers. They want to be greedy. They want the money. And they're trying to take the easy route, right? They don't want to work hard. They don't want to see projects build good value over time like Bitcoin and YK. That's going to be around long after many of you guys' projects are gone. Because when the SEC hits the Cardanos, as it were, and sues the Coinbases and Binance and such, they're getting rid of those, your favorite cryptocurrencies. And guess what's going to happen to the price and value of them? Shoot, they're going to dip. They're going to tank. I haven't seen one project yet that's been able to stand the onslaught of the SEC. Not one. Not even one. And if the Ethereum would have been on odds with the SEC, they would have suffered the same fate. Luckily for them, it just so happened by the time the SEC got together with them to go after them, and they were kind of still early in crypto as well, that they had surpassed such a great number of users. They were performing as like very well like Bitcoin was, right? But these other projects don't do that. You guys' projects don't do that. I believe Bitcoin and YK will do that because everybody's going to have the cryptocurrency. Everybody's going to have an interest in using it. You're going to have it because you can get it for free. The next guy's going to have it. And through Metcalfe's law, we've already proven that it is incorrect to believe cryptocurrencies have zero value when they get into a lot of people's hands. In fact, the Bitcoin NYK inflation token, every day I see new buyers popping up on the exchanges, right? For free cryptocurrency. Every day new people are coming in, new buyers and such, right? And that's probably going to keep happening. But that's all I want to say in this video. Guys, this is the reality now. It really, whether you accept what I'm saying or not, whether you want to still seek hype projects or not, it's not going to stop the SEC from shutting your projects down. It's not going to stop us from being able to be more decentralized than the other projects, be more fair distribution, have the more better use case in your projects. It's not going to stop any of that. That's just the facts of the case. And so I could see us continually going forward while these other projects start to fall. And it's unfortunate, but it's what happens when you take shortcuts, right? When you take the easy route like these projects have done. It's what happens when you have 1% of the network controlling 90% of it, right? It doesn't satisfy anything in the areas of decentralization. There's not one economy that's fared well with those rates of centralization against decentralization. Not one that's done well. There's no economy in the world that works that way, right? And when they attempt to do it, they have populations where people are struggling in poverty, and it results in revolution, right? So that's all I want to say in this video, guys. Don't fight the uphill battle. Join Bitcoin NYK today. You might as well now. It's better to join it now than wait later down the road and still join it then. Either way, this is the reality we're looking at. But I love to hear you guys' thoughts about how you feel about the SEC coming in, destroying these trash coins. That's all I want to say in this video. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.